laws of the state of Arizona. It isn't going to change the laws of the United States of America without the acquiescence of the majority of those respective legislatures. And if the people of Arizona empower her with a rubber stamp legislature to do whatever she wants, that's their right under the 10th Amendment to live that way. But if you get somebody into the Senate who's an extremist, because now you're dealing with a much smaller body. You go into the House and you get a Marjorie Taylor Greene who jumps up and down and yells and screams and notice me, notice me, notice me. The whack pack of the House of Representatives. We've got what do they call them? It's the squad on the left, and didn't we come up with a nickname for MTG and Gates and Boebert?
Oh God, he's been really quiet lately.
Wouldn't you be? They're going to make a lot of noise, and they're going to generate a tremendous amount of fundraising activity, and they're going to generate headlines in terms of effectively influencing legislation and therefore factually complicating human lives. I think that the Democrats I think their great success in this election was scaring people.
There are people you can talk about over on the right that people are scared of cities and the crime and all that kind of stuff. There are people that are wondering if they are going to have a say over some very important parts of themselves individually, the relationships they have with others in the communities that they live in. So I go back and forth. I teeter between optimism and nihilism. It's a balance.
But not liking the answer and the failure of the Republic, there's a big gulf between those two things.
I really think you could say democracy is ending on either side, and whoever's listening would agree.
I agree, and I think that it's wrong. I think that it is simply factually incorrect.
Right now, out in Fresno, northbound 41 at Friant on the on-ramp there, we got a collision. Don't know too much about injuries. Also, westbound 180, just east of southbound 41, we got a hazard being reported there. It's a van in a solo spin-out, and the problem is that is now causing a partial hazard in the roadway. Slow down. In Madera, northbound 99, Avenue 27, non-injury accident there. And Sugar Pine, Highway 41 at Road 630, chain control now in effect. Next update, 4:33. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
Come out to Reedley College Farmers Market every Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon through November 19th. Pick up all your fresh produce for the week, check out the artisan vendors, and eat at one of the food trucks. There's fun activities for the entire family. See you Saturday.
Granger Smith, Kylie Morgan, it's all for Central Valley Ag. Tickets start at $65. Visit thenetwork2022.com to get your tickets today.
Learn about Duarte Nursery's new and improved pistachio program. Duarte Nursery pistachios are bigger with the new Moon Unit budded trees. Crop years ahead. Save pre-productive time and several acre-feet of water by planting Moon Units. The new Vigor Clone rootstocks establish faster, come into production faster, and plateau at higher production levels than standard pistachio rootstocks. Duarte Nursery has several budded pistachio tree formats available, including the Moon Units for 2022 and 2023 spring planting. Talk to your Duarte Nursery field rep today. Duarte Nursery is the leader in potted almond trees. The new almond variety, Yorizani the Gold Nut, is a recently released self-fertile almond by the USDA. Yorizani has been field tested statewide and is a top performer in the regional almond variety trials. Yorizani is a standout performer in both quality and production. Yorizani almond trees are available from Duarte Nursery for your plantings now. Duarte Nursery has all of the best rootstocks, including Bright's Hybrid 5 and Krimsk 86 available.
John York here with Matt Betterton of Pickett Solar. Matt, tell us about your Valley-based company.
So Pickett Solar has been established as a trusted name in the large-scale solar industry in the Valley. We've been doing solar since about 2008. We primarily focus on large-scale ag and large-scale commercial and industrial solar solutions. But really the foundation of our business the roots go much deeper. We've been established in this marketplace for about 4 decades under the umbrella of Don Pickett and Associates, doing large-scale commercial and retail construction.
We're talking to Matt Betterton of Pickett Solar. Matt, I'm hearing a lot about changes soon coming with solar net energy metering. NEM 2.0 is going to be replaced by NEM 3.0. What does this mean for business owners wanting to go solar?
The transition from NEM 2.0 to 3.0 is expected to occur in Q1 2023. So solar systems that are started and applications in with PG&E by the end of 2022 are expected to be safe and grandfathered into the current NEM 2.0 program, which currently have the most favorable economics the solar industry has experienced. So right now, payback terms typically are 2 to 3 years for solar investments, especially in taking into account some of the the tax benefits that come with doing solar. The expectation, again, all of this is not finalized yet, but the expectation is that this number could easily triple in time frame with the proposed change.
Matt, if a business owner wants to find out more information about Pickett Solar, what's best?
I want to reiterate, the time is now. There is a very unique window of opportunity. It's not if NEM 3.0, but when and what it will look like when it does go into place. Reach out to us. We'll do a free cost-saving analysis. Go to PickettSolar.com or give us a call here locally at 559-431-3535. And let us show you the financials and see if it's a good fit for you. And, hey, take advantage of this increase in the federal investment tax credit while you're at it.
For more information, go to PickettSolar.com.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
'Tis the season to dash for $550,000 cash. Win your share of $42,000 weekly at drawings every Thursday and Friday. It's the Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway now through December 23rd. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
What I think's wrong with California, and we have extreme right, extreme left, and there's a whole bunch of us that are in the middle that are just trying to solve some problems.
Where elections are won and lost. News Talk 580 1059. KMJ.
It's the afternoon drive. Look at that. The sun coming out so that maybe it'll dry up a little bit on your way to the polls after work or to drop off your ballot at one of the many locations. You can do that. Make sure all that happens by 8 p.m. We'll get some more election talk on the way. Let's talk UFOs.
Marco Rubio is on a mission. He says we cannot allow the stigma of UFOs to keep us from seriously investigating. The forthcoming report is one step in that process, but it will not be the last. Rubio, who was serving as chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, as the Pentagon released a report that studied 144 UFO sightings last year, some of which were near misses, has come to the conclusion that men and women we entrusted with the defense of our country are reporting encounters with unidentified aircraft with superior capabilities, and we got to figure out what that is.
So that report that he's mentioning was released on the website for the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. They looked at 144 reports of encounters with what the government deemed unidentified aerial phenomenon. Mm-hmm. Only one of those encounters could be explained by investigators by the end of the study. The case was put down to airborne clutter.
Yeah. So they're pretty confident that there's no evidence to suggest the sightings represent extraterrestrial life or a major technological advancement by a foreign foe, China, Russia. There's one senior U.S. official speaking on background who says of the 144 reports we're dealing with, we have no clear indications that there is any non-terrestrial explanation for them, but we will go wherever the data takes us.
Now, these unidentified objects could be espionage assets used by adversaries of the U.S., which means that the abundant phenomenons in the sky prove alarming for how up-to-date the country is on foreign espionage tactics. So because of a lack of information, Rubio is urging U.S. officials to take these unexplained sightings more seriously.
We talked a little bit about extraterrestrial contact yesterday when we were talking about the salutation protocols now being hammered out by scientists around the world. And I am very confident in saying that we are not being visited by interstellar life. My suspicion is that this is a combination of just technology being glitchy and possibly, maybe, some sort of advanced drone technology. If it's the former, that's life. Welcome to digital artifacts. The fact that we've got otherwise totally reliable soldiers, airmen, and seamen saying that they've witnessed this, that they've seen this, have we thought about chasing them down? You know, scramble the birds and chase this stuff down. Physically follow it and see what happens.
One would think, but it seems more like it gets caught on camera, and then, I don't know, maybe it's a freeze response. Now, Rubio has teamed up with Senator Kirsten Gillibrand's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Amendment, and they included this in the fiscal year 2022 National Defense Authorization Act. This amendment would allow government employees to more freely report unidentified aerial phenomenon of these sightings without fear of retaliation or judgment.
Rubio,
Because real quick, if somebody came to you and said they saw a UAP, that's what we're calling it now, would you laugh at them?
No, I believe that people see things they don't understand. It is absolutely within the realm of human experience to see things, to hear things, to have your professional apparatus register the presence of things that you cannot immediately explain. That doesn't mean that we're dealing with time travelers. It doesn't mean that it's little gray men coming to emulsify our cows, or exsanguinate our cows and probe our nether regions. The most logical explanation to me, if you have, because of 144 reports, and not having seen these reports and read through them, if you have an otherwise reliable soldier, sailor, Marine saying, I saw this thing, and you have some detection, some registration of the phenomenon on instruments, then something was there. That something could be a backyard drone. It could be strange light or weather phenomenon. It could be Russia or China, although I think it's unlikely since one of them apparently still using technology from the Korean conflict, and the other one depends upon us to give them all of their intellectual property jumping off points.
Could be Starlink.
Well, look, if we've got billionaires who are building stuff to get off planet, is it conceivable that we've got billionaires working out new technology that they eventually want to shop to the Department of Defense? Absolutely.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah. So some of the stuff that these defense contractors come up with it's remarkable, and some of it's not ready for prime time. So you send it up, you test it, you see how it does, and it doesn't pan out because it got spotted, or it broke on landing, or whatever the failure is, and so it never makes it into the demo. I have no problem with investigating it. I think that there's a lot of woo around it that detracts from, hey, let's find out what this stuff is.
Also, in the grand scheme of things, and maybe I'm being short-sighted, I'm on board with they're either going to come and help us, and at that point, I don't think we'll help them. I think we'll do something to offend them, and then they'll either leave or eat us. Or they're just coming to use us as fuel, right, to just, pillage the whole place. That's a little bit of let go and let God in my mind, right? I feel like there's other things to be working on here. I get it. There's a whole lot out there in the universe. And I appreciate that Senator Rubio and his partner in crime here are making that a priority. But we can't even get our own acts together. Do we really need to be worrying about this?
If it turns out to be a defense or security threat, the regret, the recrimination, and the assignment of blame will be endless.
Yeah, but we already have a lot of that anyways.
I think that look, if you can verify that a thing was detected both by human eyeballs and electronic gear, something was there. Let's try and figure out what it was.
Everybody knows that the smart kids at universities find these big breakthroughs.
Well, so bring the smart kids in.
Let them do it.
Absolutely. Get those kids that played Capture the Flag with Shia LaBeouf.
There you go.
News time now. Here's Jim Miller.
KMJ News now.
It's 4:30 in Fresno. I'm Jim Miller in the KMJ News Center. An ongoing investigation in Farmersville after police say a man hit and killed while crossing the street. KMJ's Liz Kern has more in this report.
Police say it was dark and the 37-year-old man was not in a crosswalk when he was struck and killed around 9:30 Monday night. A 19-year-old woman was making a U-turn and did not see the man near Visalia Road and Magnolia Street. She stopped when she realized that she hit something and found the man pinned under her car. Life-saving measures were performed after he was removed from under the car, but he died at the scene. Police say the driver did not appear to be under the influence. Liz Kern, KMJ News.
The no cell phone policy at Bullard High School set to start tomorrow. School officials say students will keep their phones in locked school pouches and will have to carry it around during the school day. Some exceptions where students can use their phones would be during an emergency and when it's considered necessary by a doctor for the health of the student. Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation getting $1 million to support small businesses. The nonprofit says the funding is going to benefit more than 1,200 entrepreneurs throughout the Central Valley. CEO Dora Westerlund says the organization focuses on the Latino population, but their doors are open to anyone in the community. Funding applications are currently open. Now the forecast with Fox 26's Jim Della Vega.
Another cool, wet day with a high of only 56 degrees. More rain tonight with a slight chance of thunder and lightning. Tonight's low will be 45 degrees. For KMJ, I'm Jim Della Vega from the Fox 26 Weather Center.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Jim Miller for News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Thank you, Jim. In Fresno right now, westbound 168 at Ashland, we have a report of a collision and road blockage. Then, westbound 180 east of Highway 41, a van is causing a hazard in the roadway. And then we go to Kerman, where we have another problem that has just come up. It's on westbound 180 east of Siskiyou. Got an injury accident being reported there and slowdown because of it. In Madera, northbound 99 at Avenue 27, got a non-injury accident there. Sugar Pine, which also is in Madera County. Highway 41 at Road 630. Chain control now in effect on Highway 41 north of Sugar Pine. Next update, 447. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
'Tis the season to dash for $550,000 cash. Win your share of $42,000 weekly at drawings every Thursday and Friday. It's the Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway now through December 23rd. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
So you tested positive for COVID. What's next? Treat yourself. COVID treatments like Paxlovid are free. Taken by pill, these medications can stop the illness from getting serious. So treat yourself. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to find free treatment today. Again, that's 833-422-4255. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ISSA online for details.
Hey, how'd you like to get paid to work out? Yes, I said get paid to work out. Now you can with ISSA, the global leader in personal fitness certification. If you're interested in a money-making career in fitness as a personal trainer, now is your time because ISSA is guaranteeing you will get a job. That's right. There's a huge demand for certified personal trainers right now. So once you get ISSA certified, certified, they guarantee you will get a job. Just text CHAMP to 323232 now to get started for free. You do everything at your own pace and 100% online. Live your life on your terms. Get certified and train like you want, full-time, at a gym, at home, or as a side hustle, whatever works for you. Don't wait another day to start your career in fitness. Get certified and start making money fast, guaranteed. Just text CHAMP to 323232 right now to get started with your ISSA certification for free. Text the word CHAMP to 323232.
Glow with the flow at La Pose Spa, delivering the true meaning of a luxury med spa from Santa Monica and Beverly Hills to Fresno, with exciting updates from a new location to becoming La Pose Spa and Laser, while still offering 2022 Best of Central Valley award-winning aesthetic treatments, facials, and massages. La Pose Spa and Laser is providing the newest technology in microneedling, painless laser hair removal, skin resurfacing, IPL, and body contouring. Enjoy your favorite medical spa services in Fresno's most beautiful luxury spa. Visit LaPoseSpaFresno.com and follow them on Instagram for more.
As the nights grow longer and the days get colder, growers have to work harder to fill holiday shelves and feed Santa's reindeer and elves. This is Christina Mousson with Gar Bennett. There is definitely a chill in the air, and while we nestle all snug and warm in our beds, growers are working hard with visions of rain in their heads. Rain and cooler weather means there is less time to get fields ready and make repairs. Gar Bennett's CAMs and PCAs don't waste time. They are experts at timing, treating, and designing programs that produce great yields, quality fruit, and don't waste a drop. Whether you've been naughty or nice, or you're looking for the best service, products, or price, call Gar Bennett for the best water, irrigation, nutrition, regulatory, and crop care advice and products at 800-696-6108 and online at garbennett.com. We help growers feed the world at 800-696-6108.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $3 breakfast deal. Right now at Wendy's, enjoy the $3 breakfast deal. Choose between the bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, and get a small seasoned potatoes for just $3. Because behind every great Wendy's deal is an even greater breakfast. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
It's the afternoon drive with Philip and Skip on News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ.
It's a source I can trust.
100 years of KMJ. Now more with Skip and Philip.
Rolling through that 4 o'clock hour. It is Election Day, and this is News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ, the Valley's election headquarters. And tonight, when the polls close, Ray Appleton, John Brodsky, and I will be live 8 p.m. back here on KMJ to bring you the latest results as they become available. 580 AM, 105.9 FM, if the power comes back on, and worldwide, kmjnow.com, or with your smart speaker devices. For those of you who are concerned, we are aware the FM transmitter went down. Apparently, that whole area is currently without power. There's a pretty powerful storm cell moving through that part of the mountains, and engineering is on it, working at it. But you can join us, of course, on 580, which is probably where you're hearing this since FM's off right now, or with kmjnow.com and any of those streaming apps that you like, TuneIn Radio, Odyssey, whatever. Throw it on your smartphone, take us with you, and thanks for sticking with us through that. Engineering's on the case. 490-5858 is the number. We got Brett on the phone following up on the Marco Rubio UFO exploration plan. Brett, welcome to KMJ.
Hey, welcome. I got to photograph you guys at the Fresno Fair this year. It was good to see you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I am calling just because I wanted to inform people. There's a great interview with former Lieutenant U.S. Navy pilot Ryan Graves. He's the guy that testified in front of Congress. And they actually did chase after a they call them UFAs. It's unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah, UAPs.
Yes, and what's cool is they actually have someone leaked the footage of the radar.
Yeah.
And what he explained was F-18s, I believe around 2014 or 15, were released way better radar on them. And these pilots are literally seeing these things daily when they fly. And the speeds they travel, the way they can basically disappear and show up, I think, and he says 60 miles away within a few seconds. I'm not saying it's from, little gray men. Lieutenant Graves is not saying that either, but they're saying this is definitely technology that we are not aware of, or at least maybe there's only a few people in our government who are. And he was saying it's dangerous because they've had him fly right by them. He had an object literally fly right past him when they were flying in formation. And so it's just a really great interview. The guy's very legitimate. And there's a lot more going on.
Appreciate that, Brett. Thanks for letting us know. And I think that that's important to keep in mind. You and I certainly are not saying that the pilots in these multi-million-dollar planes up in the air are dummies or high.
No.
Except for high up in elevation. Ha! Get it? I haven't had a dad joke in a while. But I don't know that it's going to be like Russia or China that has some sort of super secret tech. Maybe it's over in the Middle East. They have the money to do this stuff.
Yeah, I tend to agree that if there's a national actor, it is not necessarily going to be Russia or China for the reasons that I stated. I don't see Russia having the resources to do this successfully, quite frankly, and China, so much of their technology is dependent upon us making advancements so they can steal them. So if we don't have it, they don't have it. I'm not saying there's nothing there. What I'm saying is I really, really, really don't believe that it's aliens. I don't believe that it's Martians. I don't think that it's extraterrestrial life. Do I believe that these guys are seeing something? Do I believe that these highly trained, highly skilled professionals are encountering something that they don't recognize and don't understand? Hell yes, I believe it. I see stuff that I don't recognize and don't understand driving my car sometimes. So it's not a question of is there something? It's how much are we going to put into finding out what that something is? And Brett makes a good point. If there is a pilot safety concern, we've got to pursue it. We've got to investigate it. And if there's a national security concern, we've got to pursue it. We've got to investigate it. But I think that it really does start with physically pursuing it and investigating it. And I know that logistically that's way easier said than done. But no, there's not for a minute. I don't think for a minute that our soldiers, sailors, and Marines are being silly or hallucinating. I've hallucinated. You know when you're hallucinating. Have you ever hallucinated?
Maybe from being tired.
That was why I did.
Yeah.
Dude, it was, you guys remember Jennifer Lipp.
Mm-hmm.
She was part of the Front Row Morning Show at the Dead Bunny station for 13, 14 years. She was a part of the original lineup at the FM KMJ. She was the morning show there, and she was John Broski's partner when we got things all dialed in and started simulcasting 580 AM and 105.9 FM. Jennifer's just one of the coolest people, and she was kind to me when I was young because I was a pest. I wanted to do everything in radio. And so I would do something very, very stupid, and I would work constantly, like not sleep for days. And I was coming off of a weekend where I lived at the radio station. I was sleeping in the production room, like 2-hour cat naps when I could catch them. But I had been basically at work for like 48 hours. So I'm coming off of a 6-hour graveyard shift. I am caffeinated out of my mind. And Jennifer comes in to take the board because she was almost always the first one there for the morning show. And she comes in and she sits down in the studio and we're having a chat. And I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but I will never, for the rest of my life, forget mid-sentence Jennifer turning her head to the side and braying like a sheep, but not like you or I would where you go, bah. Mm-hmm. No, it was a full-blown exorcism of Emily Rose livestock noise.
That's where you went.
That's what my brain did. And then she went back to talking to me, except she stops and she goes, dude, are you okay? And I was like, did you just turn your head to the side and make a really believable sheep noise? And she looks at me and she goes, you have to go home and go to sleep now. I don't remember what we were talking about. I don't remember that year of my life, to be honest. I will never forget that. But I also remember that unreality of it because there was something about it that wasn't right. When you're hallucinating and you get to the other side of the experience, you know you hallucinated.
In your situation, though, it makes sense because you were tired. Whereas if somebody is up in the sky, if they're flying one of these planes, they're certainly not on any mind-altering substances.
I wasn't high.
But you were tired. But you could be chronically tired and you're cognitive and have cognitive, what's the word I'm looking for?
Impairment.
Impairment, thank you. I was having one right now. On par with somebody who is 0.08 blood alcohol level. That's exactly. That's
In
like,
Oildale, we call it a brain fart.
Oh, my. In Fresno, northbound 41 at O Street, got a non-injury accident being reported there. In Madera, northbound 99 at Avenue 27, still cleaning up from a non-injury accident. And Sugar Pine, Highway 41 at Road 630, chain control in effect there. It's snowing and raining, and there's all kinds of... north of that point, you can't get there without chains, and the CHP has got chain control in effect. So if you're going to Yosemite, you need chains. In Kerman, State Route 180 at Siskiyou, got an injury accident there. Also in Porterville on State Route 65 at Avenue 196, a collision, unknown injuries at this point. And in Hanford, westbound 198 at 12th Avenue, a non-injury accident is being reported. Next update, 5:03. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
Hi folks, Roger Evans here with a few thoughts about Jack Hanna. More than our spokesman, Jack was a Christian. Enthusiastic, kind, quick to help or advise, and he filled a void when we lost Dale. When he said he was riding for the Evans brand, he meant it. So we will strive to honor his legacy and keep running Evans Feed the same way that made Jack proud to represent us. Big boots to fill. Pretty sure he and Dale are singing the jingle together right now. This is Roger Evans for all of us at Evans Feed in Madera, Chowchilla, and Porterville.
The Lighthouse Recovery Center offers hope, help, and healing to women and children in the Central Valley. With education, therapy, and work experience, over 80% of the women who complete the services offered maintain long-term sobriety and self-sustainability. They are no longer homeless, addicted, or unemployed. Their children are now happy and healthy. For more information on how you can be involved during the holiday season, find us at lighthousefresno.org.
Recently, I had the dreaded COVID that I've been ducking for 2 years. The first time I've had it, and my God, it better be the only time because it was awful. As a patient of Dr. Boz at the Boz Allergy, Asthma, and Sinus Centers, he took care of me, and he took care of me very well. But something else is now upon us that most of us deal with in this valley. It's fall. It's the allergies. It's asthma. It's sinus problems. They're already here. And shall I add to all of this really good news? Yeah, right. Good news tongue-in-cheek. Flu season. It's upon us. Get a flu shot, please. Something I do religiously every year. And I haven't grown another head. No worries there. Hey, the symptoms are common, coughing, wheezing, tightness in the chest, headache, and fever. And when that happens, it's the Boz Allergy, Asthma, and Sinus Centers, and they're everywhere. Click BozAllergy.com. Boz is B-A-Z. You'll find the nearest location to you. Then you can stop suffering. The Boz Allergy, Asthma, and Sinus Centers will make that diagnosis. They'll get it right, and they'll give you the proper treatment right now.
Fall is the perfect season to cozy up in your new dream home. Hi, I'm Gary McDonald, and we have a few move-in ready homes waiting for you and your family in some of our most popular neighborhoods. Enjoy the highest quality craftsmanship and luxury amenities that have come to define a Gary McDonald home without the wait.
Visit our website or call Brian Hurdle at 559-307-1761 for more information. Gary McDonald Homes, California Contractors License number 847905.
I know exactly how you feel. You're sitting there at the gas pump wondering, am I ever going to have a regular meal again? Because you're cutting out all the good food because you can't afford the gas, right? Wait until you see your next PG&E bill. No more meals out and no more hair because you're going to be pulling that out as well, too. Do what I did. Planet Solar. When you have a solar system put in by Planet Solar, you literally lock in your energy price forever. Don't you wish it could be that way at the gas pump? Sorry, but you can't do that there. But you can do it for your home with Planet Solar, and it all began for them right here in Central California. One of the things I really liked about these guys is their financing. Don't let the rate hike scare you away from going with Planet Solar. And they are really quick and good and efficient on installation, and they have become masters at putting together a complete solar package with a solar battery. So you've got the juice when PG&E says, no, you don't need it because we're trying to conserve to save the world. Click planetsolar.com. Do that. Call them at 228-9245.
This is a tough time for Fresno County. Families, children, students, everyone is suffering. We can't afford gas, we can't afford food, and we can't afford more taxes. That's why we need to vote no on Measure C. Measure C is a bad deal, crafted behind closed doors by politicians, and it'll only get worse. A $7 billion tax we'll pay for the next 30 years. Vote no on Measure C. We can't afford it. Ad paid for by No on Measure C 2022.
KMJ. Radio, streaming, social, smart speakers, on demand, online, anytime. Anytime. You're always connected with KMJ. KMJ.
See, afternoon drive coming up at 5 o'clock. We will get your headlines with Jim Miller. Look at your drive home or to the polls after work with Greg Lane and your trending topics. That is Philip. I'm Skip. Philip, you'd have been so proud of me the other day. I got a text message, and it said, your Amazon driver has sent you a message. And I looked at Mr. Skip, and I went, that is a lie, because it had a link. This is a phishing attempt. I'm not hitting that. And then we walked outside, and there was a package that was left kind of hidden, so that like it didn't get seen from the road and rain and whatnot. And I was like, but I had already deleted the text because I'm not going to hit the link because what if it's a phishing? So all of that to say, like, you got to be on the lookout for your packages coming.
Yeah, you do. And by the way, with Amazon, if you enable push notifications, it's a mixed bag because on the one hand, they're going to at least once a day send you an advertisement.
Okay.
On the other hand, when those messages from carrier come through, it'll come through the Amazon app.
Okay, this came through a text message.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that way you can go in and verify. You can go and look
got
at it that way.
Got it. All right. Well, thank you for that heads up. Now, what is your recommendation on straight up calling someone out from taking stuff from your porch?
If I catch somebody on my porch taking packages, I'm letting the dogs out.
Your dogs would work. Mine not. Not so much.
Not unless they needed a good cuddle. No, if I catch you trying to take packages off my porch, I'm going to detain you. I am going to contact law enforcement. I'm going to have you arrested and prosecuted. And I'm going to make sure that absolutely every living soul that I can reach by any means at my disposal knows your face, knows your name, and knows what you did.
You should also maybe double check to make sure the batteries in your Ring camera are good so you can get some really good visuals, like a guy in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, this is quite a story we've got from WTAE in York County.
Here in the Susquehanna Valley, York police right now are searching for the man they say tried to steal packages from someone's front door. The homeowner gave officers this video. You see the man there grabbing the package. This was on Tuesday on the 600 block of Foxtail Drive in Dover in York County. The man begins to walk away until the homeowner then confronts him. He returns the package, apologizes, and tells the homeowner he wants the $20 back that he left under the welcome mat.
He had him on camera. He knew he had the suspect and the suspect vehicle, so he just took his property, called the police, turned over the evidence, and let the police handle the situation.
Well, to keep you from becoming a victim, police do recommend that packages are delivered to your workplace, not your home, and they also strongly recommend security cameras.
I want to set the setting here, too. This is the middle of the day on a quiet, well-manicured street, where somebody just pulls up in what looks like a four-door sedan.
Yeah, it's a nondescript car, and the guy pulls up. He goes up to the porch and starts fooling with the package. The guy's not dressed like a serial killer. He's wearing sneakers and warm-ups and a t-shirt. You want to hear the audio from the doorbell cam?
I do.
There, he picked it up down the steps, onto the lawn.
Hey, why don't you leave that there? Put that down.
Oh, I apologize. I thought this was my aunt. I apologize for that, sir.
All right, we'll see you.
I apologize on that.
All right.
Hey, bye.
See you later.
I'm gonna get my the 20 back.
What are you talking about?
Apologize for that. My aunt was thought that was the correct house. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, this is next level criminality.
Was this next level criminality, or was this a bonehead?
No, actually, this is kind of scary because, first of all, the people in the house handled it really well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't have handled it so calmly. But I think that what that guy's doing is it might be worth for him to leave at 20 so that if he gets busted, he has an alibi. Oh, I thought it was so-and-so. I left the money under there. And then he was able to kind of disengage by being, oh, well, can I get my $20 back?
Okay. I don't see this being a trend with porch pirates.
Probably not. They're just going to run.
Missed part of the show? Get the Afternoon Drive podcast at kmjnow.com or by searching KMJ's Afternoon Drive in Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Jay, one of the most successful endorsement campaigns I ever did, like 15, 20 years ago, was with a company called the Noble Truck Accessory Center. Oh, you remember them. I was going through my Jeep phase at the time, and no, they're not a four-wheel drive kind of place, but they helped out. It was beautiful, and guess what? I just bought another Jeep. But listen to me when I say, we love our trucks in the state of California, and the showrooms at either location of the Noble Truck Accessory Center will give you so much in the way of ideas to make your truck all yours and nobody else's. But there's no way that your truck is complete without one of the many products from Truck Covers USA. These covers are untouchable for work, play, and purpose, like on the job, babe. Take a look at their signature product, the American Roll Cover. Their covers protect cargo from theft and weather. And the Noble Truck Accessory Center has got them. All of them. From Truck Covers USA. Ray Appleton and the Noble Truck Accessory Center's back together again. Blackstone and Sierra are out at Sunnyside. Click it. NobleTruck.com.
'Tis the season to dash for $550,000 cash. Win your share of $42,000 weekly at drawings every Thursday and Friday. It's the Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway now through December 23rd. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
Celebrating a century of broadcasting. News Talk 580 AM, 105.9 FM. KMJ, Fresno, a Cumulus Media station.
It's 5 o'clock in Fresno. I'm Joe Miller in the KMJ News Center. This news update sponsored by Best Concrete Blocks, the old Fresno company with new ideas. Rain being blamed for a power outage today, affecting around 2,000 people downtown. But now, according to PG&E, it was a squirrel that got into a piece of equipment. The outage reported just before 12:30. It was fixed by 1:30. The city of Fresno first tweeting the power was off, later said it was back on again, and City Hall was open to the public. City crews continuing to respond to the storm-related calls, including broken trees, one down the street from us near Palm and Yale. If you see storm-related damage on city property, you can call 311. Fresno City and county law enforcement partner with state and federal officials to conduct a major undercover operation targeting online child sex predators.
19 in all ended up face-to-face with law enforcement officers instead of underage girls and boys for sexual acts last week in what is known as Operation Hook.
Or hands off our kids. These suspects used sexually explicit language and sent graphic photos to the detective pretending to be a child.
Fresno County Sheriff Margaret Mims says one of the men, 38-year-old Mark McGill Jr. of Riverside County, even showed up in a U.S. Forest Service fire engine. And detectives say they approached kids in English and Spanish on apps including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok.
5 people, including 2 teenagers, have gunshot injuries after an illegal drag race in Tulare. County sheriff's officials say the incident happened late Sunday on Road 84 and Avenue 208. Officials say everyone expected to survive their injuries. Investigators say they're looking into what led up to the shooting. California leads the nation in ways to protect farmer crop expenses. KMJ Ag Director Don York explains.
New data from USDA's Economic Research Service shows California farmers purchased the most federal crop insurance policies for specialty crops. The data from 2020 highlights California, followed by Florida, Washington, North Dakota, and Minnesota. California's crop insurance policies reflect the variety of specialty crops produced that include almonds, grapes, oranges, walnuts, and raisins. Crop insurance can help cover any risk if natural disaster strikes and any changes that occur to market conditions. Don York, KMJ News.
Now the forecast with Fox 26's Jim Della Vega.
Another cool, wet day with a high of only 56 degrees. More rain tonight with a slight chance of thunder and lightning. Tonight's low will be 45 degrees. For KMJ, I'm Jim Della Vega from the Fox 26 Weather Center.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Jim Miller for News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Northbound 41 in Fresno at O Street, they're still dealing with a non-injury accident there. And also in Hanford, westbound 198 at 12th, they're at the off-ramp, a non-injury accident. And Highway 41 at Road 630, which is near Sugar Pine, you have chain controls now in effect. Next update is 517. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
When your business information is missing or inconsistent across the internet, search engines won't find you, and customers won't either. Help ensure customers see you and not your competitors. Boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
'Tis the season to dash for $550,000 cash. Win your share of $42,000 weekly at drawings every Thursday and Friday. It's the Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway now through December 23rd. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
Now, the Valley's Afternoon Drive. Philip Teresi and Skip Echeverria. From AM Radio 580.
To the internet, KMJNow.com.
From Warren G. Harding to
Let's Go Brandon.
From 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's the Afternoon Drive with Philip and Skip.
100 years of KMJ.
News, talk, radio.
.505 at News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ. Good afternoon, and welcome to hour number 4 of the Election Day installment of your Afternoon Drive. Phone numbers here remain 490-5858 and toll free 800-776-5858. On Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, you can follow the show at Drive KMJ, and on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch.tv, you can watch the show also at Drive KMJ. Joshua Weekly stands by to screen your calls this afternoon as I join Skip Echeverria back in the KMJ studios with your trending topics at 5 o'clock.
A Powerball ticket sold at Joe's Service Center in Altadena, an unincorporated area east of LA, matched all 6 numbers in Monday night's record drawing, $2.04 billion. It wasn't us. That's all I got.
3 additional tickets matching 5 numbers worth $1.1 million apiece were also sold in the state of California.
Being dramatic. That's why we came to work. So we didn't win.
District Attorney Lisa Smitkamp says voter fraud cases do happen, but historically they've been few and far between in Fresno County. She does warn, however, that her office will thoroughly investigate complaints, and cases are filed when there has been purposeful misrepresentation.
Getting your Election Day news via social media can be tricky. Expert tips and reminders include mishaps will happen. It doesn't mean there's fraud. Know your blind spots. Check your sources. Pay attention to your emotions. Be patient. It takes time for results to be counted.
A lawyer for Donald Trump warned Governor Ron DeSantis to stay in his lane in Florida. While being interviewed by Right Side Broadcasting Network, the attorney said, quote, he needs to stay in Florida. Just stay where you are. You're doing a great job in Florida. Don't jump the gun. He's not ready yet.
Local leaders plan to meet with PG&E officials later this week to hammer out a 60-day deal to get Fresno's building projects electrified faster. Joining council members Carbasi and Arias will be incoming council member Annalisa Perea, Assemblyman Joaquin Arambula, and Carol Goldsmith, Chancellor of the State Center Community College District.
Bullitt High School students are planning a walkout tomorrow as the controversial no cell phone policy becomes official. Each student is to be issued a magnetically locking Yonder pouch, and they are expected to have that pouch in their possession whether they have a phone or not during the school day. Students can unlock their pouches at the end of the school day at unlocking stations that will be at all school exits.
Ballot tracking information provided by elections research firm Political Data Incorporated today showed Republican ballot returns across Fresno County outpacing those from Democrats by 7 percentage points. That's 29% to 22%.
And Senator Marco Rubio is urging Congress to search for the truth behind UFO sightings after the Pentagon failed to explain 144 reports of unidentified aerial phenomenon in a report released by the Office of the Director for National Intelligence. Rubio cites concerns related to national security. That is your trending topics at 5 o'clock. For those stories and a lot more, you can get the podcast with Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Music. Anywhere you want to listen, you can just search for KMJ's Afternoon Drive or head over to kmjnow.com. Hit the podcast tab. Not only will you find our stuff, but you'll find all kinds of goodies from the rest of the KMJ team. 5:08 now on your Afternoon Drive. Skip Echeverria is over there. I'm Philip Teresi. The election results show starts at 8 o'clock. Ray Appleton, John Broski, and I will welcome guests into the KMJ studio to help you break down and analyze returns here in the Central Valley and all throughout the state of California, as well as new information as it becomes available across the country. Right now, as we see polls closing across the country, Fox News has called the gubernatorial contest in Florida for Governor Ron DeSantis.
That's my surprise face.
Yeah, right?
We knew that was going to happen. I mean, they did have a pretty close, I think.
Oh, Fetterman Oz, 4% reporting, Fetterman with 86%. It's 4% reporting. That's going to be like
but
nothing.
86 is a big chunk. Philly was breaking records actually with their return votes before the actual election day. Boy, oh boy, that one's going to be an interesting one. This is annoying to me though. There's like 4%, 5%.
Yeah,
a lot. And like this one, like South Carolina Senate, they're already calling it 1% in Tennessee.
Well, they're not calling it. They're just announcing.
Well, they're
what the
putting
returns
like a check next to it. Isn't that the way Fox News is saying the winner?
Maybe.
Look, see, like right there. I mean, that's, I guess, obvious.
Governor Scott in Vermont currently with 78.9% and like 2% reporting.
Yeah, I just, that's 2%. But, they got to figure out how they're going to talk about it. Now, over in Georgia, it looks like Warnock is ahead of, what's his face? The liar, Walker.
Oh, what's his face? The guy with the tin badge and the big mouth.
The most heartbreaking thing I heard this whole series of the election was when Mr. Skip went, he used to be a really good Dallas Cowboys player.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think that's enough. And like Dallas folks, like they bleed that silver and blue. So anyway.
But yeah, even in Indiana, where you saw polls close very early, you're still at 20% reporting. So yeah. I would not call your bookie to cash in any bets just yet. But you are going to start seeing the excitement build, and the DeSantis campaign headquarters. You know what it looks like? It looks like when the Scorpions were at the fair.
Is that what it is?
Oh my! The lighting, the crowd, how everybody's kind of huddled in together. You've got that little break right as you get to the stage.
Okay, I can see that.
All right. We had some interesting turns in predictions, and I suppose we'll see how Sabato's crystal ball does here. This is actually published by the University of Virginia Center for Politics, and they're an election handicapper. They tend to be regarded as pretty nonpartisan, and they had said 2 races here in Central California they were predicting as toss-ups. The Salas Valadeo race and the Adam Gray-John Duarte race. And they have revised that in anticipation of the results tonight. They are now saying that it looks like Valadeo is going to beat, according to Sabato's crystal ball, they're predicting Valadeo defeats Salas, and maybe a little more surprising, that you're going to see John Duarte take down Adam Gray.
Yeah, that one's particularly interesting to me because I need to do a really quick thing here. Because I feel like while he was a Democrat, or is a Democrat, Adam Gray had support for folks on both sides. Because Adam Gray is in the state assembly, then was trying to move up to this, right? And this is where you see Soria that was running for that spot. I don't know. I feel like I didn't, well, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention because it's not in my area.
Well, and here we go with the impossibility of really accurately understanding all of this. To even understand everything happening in California is...
Oh, yeah. See, this was the
insanity.
thing that I was looking at because I had heard the commercials, right? Like, Adam Gray had a whole bunch of sheriffs on board with him.
Oh, yeah.
He had, so you had some pretty hard right-leaning folks. You had a whole bunch of assembly members and assemblymen, U.S. representatives, governor, senators, all of that. I mean, Team Blue makes sense, but when you get into the law enforcement piece, that's where I thought it was pretty interesting, and county supervisors.
But if Gray has been pro-law enforcement, if he's got a record to stand on, it would track that he would get those endorsements.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that surprised me about Susan Wittrup in her Area 7 Fresno Unified trustee race. Her career has been absolutely fine. There's nothing about the woman to object to so far as I can tell. But for somebody who doesn't have any political chops to speak of, to collect the endorsements that she did, I mean, it really is a who's who. I was surprised because I could understand somebody, and this is with all due respect to Major Sladek, who I am personally very fond of, and who I have voted for as a trustee. Sladek turned people off with some of that bull in a china shop stuff. So I can understand, especially folks who are still in the game politically, just kind of standing back and saying, we want to see what's going to happen here. But to see that many heavy hitters line up behind somebody with zero record shocked me a little bit. In the case of Gray, he's got a record that he can stand on and attract those folks.
The piece about Valadeo being able to pull ahead, that doesn't surprise me because he is somebody that was elected, lost to TJ Cox, then got reelected again, and has really he has been a voice for the area that he represents. Now,
yeah.
The other piece that got me thinking that Democrats were worried was because you saw all of that. I don't want to say it was slanderous, but like those mailers that were just trash, that were paid for by a Democratic PAC to make it look like it was the MAGA people coming after. I mean, that's when you start throwing money down like that, it starts to reek a little bit.
I can't think of anything that would turn off people from the Central Valley, much less the South Valley, faster than finding out that Nancy Pelosi was laundering money through a local PAC to depress Republican turnout for a couple of reasons. One, you're not telling us who you are. You're not telling us who's buying these ads. You got to go back and dig through the financials to figure out how we got from A to B to C. Two, you're not out there talking about how great your guy is. You're just trying to make Republicans mad about, as far as I can tell, the one vote David Valadao cast that made MAGA Republicans mad.
Well, and the other piece of this is, I don't know who Sabato is, but a crystal ball's great, but at the same time, nobody has seen the outcomes of any of this yet.
Well, okay, so Sabato's crystal ball is it's a product of the University of Virginia Center for Politics.
Got it.
So it's not some rando throwing darts. It's an educated guess based on available data. And if anything, I find this to be encouraging, especially in the Valadao race, because Salas, I mean, again, I just can't emphasize a guy who can't simply own a totally forgivable mistake. Oh my God, the thing with the signs was so dumb. It was such a wonky, specific, small ball thing. I mean, look, the rules are the rules and you got to play by the rules. Own it, apologize for it, move on from it, instead of dodging the question like a kid who doesn't want to tell his mom he broke her favorite lamb.
Well, and that on top of, there were some pretty damning numbers about the number of votes missed while elected.
Well, that and the number of years he shaved off his age on the dating
that
profile.
too. And the other thing was, I go back to all of the jumping up and down when Nunes wouldn't do a town hall or a debate, and then we see something in a similar area, and then he pulls out of both.
And he won't show up because a campaign ad hurt his feelings. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi's funneling money through Andrew Jans's PAC to tell Republicans that David Valadao sucks. It makes perfect sense. Right?
We'll see if the crystal ball works as well as that one in the movie Big.
Zoltan.
Right now in Fresno, northbound 41 at Bryant, solo vehicle spin out, and it is now causing a bit of some traffic delays. Hampered westbound 198 at 12th. There is a non-injury accident there. And then in Madera, heads up northbound 99 at Avenue 21.5. There's an animal reported running along the side of the roadway. So be real careful if you're in that area. Next update, 5:33. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
'Tis the season to dash for $550,000 cash. Win your share of $42,000 weekly at drawings every Thursday and Friday. It's the Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway now through December 23rd. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
Terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ISSA online for details.
Hey, how'd you like to get paid to work out? Yes, I said get paid to work out. Now you can with ISSA, the global leader in personal fitness certification. If you're interested in a money-making career in fitness as a personal trainer, now is your time because ISSA is guaranteeing you will get a job. That's right. There's a huge demand for certified personal trainers right now. So once you get ISSA certified, they guarantee you will get a job. Just text CHAMP to 323232 now to get started for free. You do everything at your own pace and 100% online. Live your life on your terms. Get certified and train like you want, full-time, at a gym, at home, or as a side hustle. Whatever works for you. Don't wait another day to start your career in fitness. Get certified and start making money fast, guaranteed. Just text CHAMP to 323232 right now to get started with your ISSA certification for free. Text the word CHAMP to 323232.
My doctor told me my blood pressure is borderline. I figured I could worry about it or do something about it. So I took control with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula. It works safely and naturally to help maintain healthy blood pressure with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Attention! Did you or a loved one live at or near Marine Base Camp Lejeune in North Carolina between 1953 and 1987? If so, listen closely for this important legal announcement. From 1953 to 1987, Marines and their family members at Camp Lejeune drank water that was contaminated with hazardous toxins. The toxins found in the water at Camp Lejeune may cause health issues, especially later in life. Types of health issues associated with water at Camp Lejeune are numerous. If you or a loved one lived near Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation without going to court. Even if you were turned down in the past, a new law can allow you to file a claim today. If you or a loved one spent time near Camp Lejeune, call the Negligence Network to find out if you're eligible for financial compensation. There's no fee unless we win your case. Call 1-800-600-5536. That's 1-800-600-5536. 1-800-600-5536.
In my 35 years here at KMJ, one of the most successful endorsement campaigns I ever did, like 15, 20 years ago, was with a company called the Noble Truck Accessory Center. Oh, you remember them. I was going through my Jeep phase at the time, and no, they're not a four-wheel drive kind of place, but they helped out. It was beautiful, and guess what? I just bought another Jeep. But listen to me when I say, we love our trucks in the state of California, and the showrooms at either location of the Noble Truck Accessory Center will give you so much in the way of ideas to make your truck all yours and nobody else's. But there's no way that your truck is complete without one of the many products from Truck Covers USA. These covers are untouchable for work, play, and purpose, like on the job, babe. Take a look at their signature product, the American Roll Cover. Their covers protect cargo from theft and weather. And the Noble Truck Accessory Center has got them. All of them from Truck Covers USA. Ray Appleton and the Noble Truck Accessory Center's back together again. Blackstone and Sierra are out at Sunnyside. Click it. NobleTruck.com.
Where elections are won and lost. News Talk 580 1059 KMJ. Now, more with Philip and Skip.
We're starting to see from the East Coast some results rolling in here on Election Day, midterms 2022. That's Philip. I'm Skip. You're going to be back here later on tonight to kind of help digest some of this stuff with a seasoned crew. That's at 8 o'clock after Levin?
Correct. Yeah, Ray Appleton, John Broski, and I will be here, Mike Emanuel Jr. We're going to have a couple other folks rolling through to help make sense of results as they can become available in Fresno County and the state of California.
So speaking of the election, it's going to be really interesting to see how loud some of the election fraud stuff comes out depending on who wins. But this is an interesting story that involves Representative Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah, if you're trying to place the name, it's the dude with the eye patch that got into a kerfuffle with Pete Davidson a couple of years ago.
Why don't we hear more about him as a name that comes up in the party?
Because Crenshaw's on the outs.
Because he's on the outs because he has said that all of the election denying is nonsense. And that behind closed doors, these people admit it's all nonsense.
That's probably part of it. A lot of people in the party have started to call him the new John McCain or Eye Patch McCain, and that they don't mean that in a complimentary way. But he's got a lot of criticism from MAGA world, not really the GOP properly, but the MAGA wing of the party. And this is because he is going after grifters and performance artists.
Yeah, and as a result of that, I mean, this guy's been out, at Republican Party gatherings in Texas and folks screaming at him that he's a traitor and needs to be hung. He said that we have a lot of people in the political world that are just willing to say things they know aren't true. It's a huge manipulation. That was in a conversation that he had recently that was reported in HuffPost.
Yeah, he was talking on the Hold These Truths podcast, and Crenshaw says it was always a lie. The whole thing was a lie. It was a lie meant to rile people up in reference to the election conspiracy theories revolving around 2020. But you've got to remember, he's not the perfect messenger for this. Back in December of 2020, he signed on to that brief that 126 House Republicans sent to the Supreme Court asking for help overturning the election.
Those GOP lawmakers at the time, which represented about 64% of the House Republican Conference, signed on to a legal filing insisting that millions of American ballots should be ignored, lies should be believed, wide-eyed conspiracy theories should be believed, and the loser of the election should be handed illegitimate power.
Crenshaw has now conceded it was always a lie. Putting aside his record on this, I think that he's half right. I think that there are people who continue to promote the 2020 election theft story because it's politically advantageous. But I think that there's a lot of people who believe it, even if they can't prove it, they believe it in their bones. I mean, a perfect example is Mike Lindell.
But I can believe in my bones that there are unicorns and say that Scotland, that is their national animal, because it is. But at some point, there's not unicorns.
Okay, so I think a solution is in the offering.
Okay.
Because the litigation of 2020, I believe, is going to continue through 2024. I really do.
So then we're just getting our time machines to go back to 2022 or 2020 and redo all of it.
That's not going to happen, but the arguments are going to continue to be presented until we have another presidential election. Those arguments are going to persist. And I think that you've got, to Crenshaw's point, a disturbing number of people who are saying it because it's politically expedient. But I think that you've also got a lot of people who believe it sincerely, both on the national stage and in the electorate itself. Get rid of the voting machines that we have questions about. Go back to how we were doing elections 10, 15 years ago, where it was paper ballots, and maybe we'll have a hanging Chad thing like we did in Florida once upon a time.
I remember watching that from the Fresno State Student Union.
And mandate photo ID. So if you've got a situation where you've got people who want to vote, who for whatever reason cannot afford photo ID, advance an initiative that if you can demonstrate financial need, you can be issued not a driver's license, not a passport, but a state-issued photo identification, and you have photo ID at voting, and you no longer use the questionable voting machines, even if there's never been proof that it's there. By doing those two things, you take the temperature down on this instantly.
So that kind of makes me feel like, okay, so maybe I don't know how a computer works. You talk about RAM, you talk about all this kind of stuff that goes on in there. What if I say we got to go back to typewriters? I don't care that the computer works. I don't trust the technology. I'm going to go back to typewriters. And then everybody has to change everything to be typewriters again. I'm not necessarily against the ID, by the way. I liked that reminder you brought up earlier that we've never asked for ID in California, forever. So the taking the step back because the technology is scary, but all of the stuff has been debunked to the point that the voting machine folks are going to sue the hell out of Mike Lindell and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like going back to typewriters.
I understand your point, and in most things, I think that the adoption, the inclusion, the integration of new technology to improve efficiency, improve security it can be a good thing. We have a system that was working fine without the technology. The technology did not create the problem, but it created a perception that is worrisome to some people. We aren't talking about going back to 1993 technology across the board. Nobody's going to take away your copy of QuickBooks. Nobody's going to take away the smartphone. We simply go back to doing elections by hand. Because look, if every election that involves a voting machine is going to be contested and eventually recounted by hand anyways, why not just do the count by hand?
I guess because then it's the argument that who's going to be in there tabulating the votes, and then it's all going to be stacked. Oh, boy, those numbers look bad. 80% for Fetterman. Whew. Boy, Dr. Oz.
But what's the percentage?
It was like 10%.
Yeah.
Still. Anyhow, but back to the piece about tabulating the votes. I mean, I want to believe that we believe in the election. What's going to be interesting is if there's this big red wave come the end of the week or the certification of the election, are we going to trust the system that's in place right now?
I don't think that the people who are worried about technological changes to a system that was fine without them are going to be satisfied. The technology isn't requisite. And if we're doing by hand recounts anyways, doesn't it make sense to just do the initial count by hand?
I mean, at that point, if you're talking about just saving money, well, yeah, you can go back to paper. And I've never voted that way. Mine's always been a little fill in the bubble.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I've never used a voting machine then, I guess.
No.
I always do I didn't drop my ballot off.
Okay, good. So you've heard it here first. Skip just agreed with Tucker Carlson.
KMJ News now.
It's 5:30 in Fresno. I'm Jim Miller in the KMJ News Center. A group of Fresno leaders say they plan to meet with Pacific Gas and Electric officials later this week to work on a new deal to get the city's building projects electrified faster. Last week, the council voted to postpone the approval of a study on Fresno's energy options, which includes the city becoming its own utility provider. Now, council members Miguel Arias and Mike Kerbasi will meet with PG&E officials Thursday to create a new plan of action. China Resort Ski Peak getting ready for an early opening this Saturday. Resort officials say it's the first time they're opening before Thanksgiving in over 10 years. Resort staff said they plan to open on Saturdays and Sundays. Inflation's the top issue in the campaign, according to a preliminary exit poll. ABC's Brian Clark has more from the decision desks.
It was a common Republican pitch down the stretch of the campaign. Are you better off than you were 2 years ago? And 77% of voters in a preliminary national exit poll say their families in a worse financial situation than this time in 2020. About 80% of voters said inflation caused them severe or moderate hardship in the last year, and Republicans were more trusted to handle inflation by a 12-point margin. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Now the forecast with Fox 26's Jim Della Vega.
Another cool, wet day with a high of only 56 degrees. More rain tonight with a slight chance of thunder and lightning. Tonight's low will be 45 degrees. For KMJ, I'm Jim Della Vega from the Fox 26 Weather Center.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Jim Miller for News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Thank you, Jim. Got some problems to report on northbound 41 at Bryant, a solo vehicle spinoff. The good news is it's not affecting traffic there. However, northbound 41 from the 180, it is just slow and go, and there is a little bit of slowdown on southbound 41 as well. In Madera, we have a injury accident. This is on Avenue 15 at Road 28 and a half, and then we have on Road 29 and a half in the 9400 block a non-injury accident, and they're still dealing with another injury accident in Madera. This one, Avenue 15 at Road 36. Next update, 547. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
If you're eligible, open enrollment is now available and only takes a few moments to sign up. Sante Physicians is here for all of your Medicare needs. Sante Physicians, the best doctors, the best choice.
This hour of KMJ's Afternoon Drive is brought to you by A&E Pressure Washers, sales and service for anything and everything on your wash pad.
Measure C was a mistake 20 years ago, and it's a mistake now. We paid the price, but our kids shouldn't. There's no future in Measure C. Vote no. Ad paid for by No on Measure C 2022.
We really like the fact that Personal Express Insurance is local. We know them all personally.
That face-to-face, one-on-one personal attention is just another reason why people every day become Personal Express Insurance customers.
We've been very happy, very satisfied with the discount rate that they give to us.
Personal Express Insurance has been known for their great rates, but their customers come with them and stay with them for what they like to call their local advantage.
I have had insurance companies call me and they tell me they can beat Personal Express Insurance. And when I tell them what I'm paying for the insurance, they tell me we cannot beat that.
With offices in Fresno, in the Fig Garden Village, in Clovis in the Buchanan Crossroads, and in Visalia in the Visalia Pavilion. Or go to expressinsurance.com for a fast, free quote.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Peralta, President of Personal Express Insurance. Everyone, please stay safe and stay healthy.
Hi folks, Roger Evans here with a few thoughts about Jack Hanna. More than our spokesman, Jack was a Christian. Enthusiastic, kind, quick to help or advise, and he filled a void when we lost Dale. When he said he was riding for the Evans brand, he meant it. So we will strive to honor his legacy and keep running Evans Feed the same way that made Jack proud to represent us. Big boots to fill. Pretty sure he and Dale are singing the jingle together right now. This is Roger Evans for all of us at Evans Feed in Madera, Chowchilla, and Porterville.
Family farms are up against so much. So everywhere they turn, they're getting hit.
So there are changes coming from the utility that ties in with net energy metering. The sense of urgency is certainly driven by that change coming from NEM 2 to NEM 3.
What's going to happen is when NEM 3 comes, is they're going to limit your credits back when you're producing power.
You know, they're moving the goalposts. The utilities are changing the rules of the game.
Solar is the best savings now.
If you haven't gone solar for your farming operation or commercial business, the time really is now.
Rates are going up more and more. We've already seen almost a 40% rate increase in the last 10 years.
Being locally owned and in the market for as long as we have, that creates a sense of trust and long-term support.
Here at Pickett Solar, 90+% of our business is ag. We have great relationships we've developed, and we've earned the trust of many families throughout the valley that feel confident in referring us to their friends and other family members.
With Pickett Solar, we provide a way for our clients to save money and gain energy independence.
Did you know fixing outdoor leaks can save 27 to 90 gallons of water per day? Even tiny leaks can be huge water wasters. Conserving water starts with a few simple water-saving actions at home and in your yard, like adjusting your sprinklers and adding drip irrigation so you water only where it's needed. We can all do our part to conserve water. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more water-saving tips. Save water, save California.
Hey, you got a tickle in your schnoz? Call Dr. Boz. Click BozAllergy.com. Boz, B-A-Z. BozAllergy.com.
Okay, I'll count down and then you jump.
Got it.
Let me just grab your parachute.
Some accidents are your fault. For injuries that are not, contact the award-winning personal injury attorneys at Injured.com. Their tailored approach will find the best strategy for your case and situation. They will build a powerhouse legal team around your case that will relentlessly pursue justice and maximum financial compensation for you.
Gotcha. Thanks.
You'll always land safely with the experienced attorneys at Injured.com.
'Tis the season to dash for $550,000 cash. Win your share of $42,000 weekly at drawings every Thursday and Friday. It's the Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway now through December 23rd. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
It's the Afternoon Drive with Philip and Skip on News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ.
The only radio station that helps me through a long day.
100 years of KMJ. Now more with Skip and Philip.
It's 5:40 on your Afternoon Drive at News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ. The great one, Mark Levin, coming in at 6 o'clock this evening, although he will be stepping aside at 8 o'clock, so Ray Appleton, John Broski, and I can jump back on and start giving you local election returns starting at 8 o'clock. Fresno, the Valley, the state, and beyond. We'll tell you guys what the numbers look like in the early part of the evening and maybe answer some questions about some of those East Coast races as we see reporting better than North Dakota's 1%, New Hampshire's 14%, and so on.
I don't want to ruin the ending if you haven't seen it, but did you watch Men in Black?
Yeah.
The end where everything they're looking for is in the collar of the cat?
Yeah.
Did that blow your mind as much as it blew my mind back in the day?
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it.
Okay, and then they panned out at the very end. Again, if you haven't seen the ending of Men in Black, cover your ears, earmuffs. And then they pan out, and then I think there's like aliens playing pool.
Marbles.
That's what it was. Okay, that is exactly where we need to put our head here as we are about to talk about a TikToker named Time Voyaging. That's their handle.
Yeah, he claims to be a time traveler from the year 2906 who says that we do have a creator and that the creator keeps our universe in a jar.
A mason jar, because probably they saw that was like a popular trend for a while.
He also claims that we humans have made our own universe in a jar, which will be discovered March of next year. That's convenient.
Okay. So just before we move on this, so we're inside a jar.
Yeah.
And then we've made a jar of a universe?
Yeah.
Where is that jar?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to wait until March.
Okay, got it. Okay. So in the video, the TikToker wrote, "Attention! Yes, I'm a real time traveler. Our universe is in a very large jar, and I am also very, very high." I added that at the end.
How dare you? He says that our universe was created by someone whose universe is also in a jar, and we now have created one as well, and that March 2nd of 2023, a universal jar will be found. It was created by a kid named Edward Thorne.
The jar was a science project, and it will lead to many amazing discoveries. We don't have much of an impact on those who created us, but we can impact the ones we created. So there's so many jars.
So I have a problem with this.
It's like a Russian stacking doll. Yes.
The Matryoshka dolls, yes. It ignores the simulation hypothesis.
Oh, that we're all in a simulation?
Yes. If you are not familiar with the simulation hypothesis, the proposal is that all of our existence is a simulated reality, like a computer simulation. And lest you think that this is just another wigged out hallucinogen abuser on social media, the simulation hypothesis has been put forward by Neil deGrasse Tyson as being a 50-50 possibility. Physicist and science communicator Sabine Hassenfelder says that while the question's not scientific because it's not disprovable, we can't disprove it.
Well, that's kind of, if you bring that back to something that we might be able to, that's the agnostic point of view on spirituality. Because atheists believe they're definitely not a god, and then people have their different gods for their religion, and agnostics go, well, you can't prove there's not one.
The truly agnostic position, in my opinion, as an agnostic, is I don't know. I don't know, and neither do you. We don't know. I'm okay with you believing what you want to believe. I believe that we don't know and that people don't have a clue where exactly all of this came from. We're just making stuff up while we pass the time and wait to find out what's on the other side of the mortal coil.
I've also heard it described as atheists without a backbone.
No, I think that atheism is
its own religion.
Atheism's become its own religion. You've got these Dawkins guys that they've effectively become the evangelicals of the there's no God movement. And I've always wondered if we'll ever find out who hurt Dawkins so badly that he's so mad at God that he wants to deny even the possibility of his existence.
They're dropouts. That I'm convinced. They're all dropouts of other really strong faiths.
I don't have a problem with the jar concept as just kind of like a wild theory, but having been a frequent consumer of Rick and Morty, it's been done.
Okay, so he kind of borrowed it from somewhere. See, I wouldn't have known that came from Rick and Morty. I just had my Men in Black thing to go off of. Can I read you this tweet? Because I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
How does a Matrix movie work in 2021? I'm supposed to be scared of living in a fake reality trapped forever in 1999? Heck, frost my tips and log me in. That made me laugh so hard yesterday. Like, how many people are doing that on purpose now? I mean, what's his name messed up Metaverse, but
it was never going to be something as it was never going to be something as base as the Metaverse. It's going to be something that's totally immersive, and we right now as humans, we don't have the technology to create something like that.
Do you think we will by the time our kids are older? Like, we might not be here, but our kids' generation maybe.
I don't know if it'll happen in our children's lifetime, but I think that in our grandchildren's lifetime, at the very least, you'll have the San Junipero out.
What is that?
Oh, great episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, I had to stop watching that when they had little robot dogs. It got too real.
No, this is a really sweet one. It's the idea being that you can have your consciousness digitally copied into the server so that you can live in paradise with the saved consciousness of all of your loved ones.
Oh, okay. I also saw the one where they put it in a bear. That was another Black Mirror.
Yes, it was. You would like San Junipero.
Okay.
That you would be happy with that one.
Okay. It's wild.
I think one of the girls even has your haircut.
We have some problems to deal with as far as Highway 41 goes, and it's not anywhere near Friant. That whole area with the solo vehicle has now been taken care of, and everything going in to the off-ramp is fine. However, further down on northbound 41, got a lot of slow-moving traffic. In Madera, that seems to be where the problems are. We have an injury accident on Avenue 15 at Road 36, a minor injury accident at Avenue 15 at Road 29, and then a non-injury accident at Road 24 and Avenue 8. And then we have a non-injury accident in the 9400 block of Road 29.5. Keep in mind, it's Sugar Pine on Highway 41 at Road 630. Chain control starts there. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
'Tis the season to dash for $550,000 cash. Win your share of $42,000 weekly at drawings every Thursday and Friday. It's the Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway now through December 23rd. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
Now, the API Liberty Minute from the American Principles Institute.
Next week is Election Day. For conservatives, we have waited almost 2 years to make our voices heard again and strike back against the sharp liberal-progressive turn our country has taken. The Biden administration has destroyed a period of prosperity we all enjoyed. Our retirement plans, our wealth, our day-to-day living expenses all have been dramatically impacted by the incompetence and poor leadership of President Biden and his agenda. His attack on big oil, his undermining of the police, his weak foreign policy, and embarrassing withdrawal from Afghanistan. The inflation that continues, the gas prices at the pump, and the pain we all feel whenever we have to watch him give a speech, talk in public, or simply walk up the stairs of Air Force One. Election day is when we get to evaluate Uncle Joe and all our leaders, vote for a new direction, and ensure America is better off tomorrow than it is today. Make the right choice, my friends, and stand for freedom, liberty, and the conservative way of life. God bless. This is the API Liberty Minute, and I'm Preston Little for the American Principles Institute.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Ben. Choosing the best mattress can be difficult, but one company has made it easy: Clovis Mattress. We've created a simple lineup of mattresses to suit all budgets and, more importantly, all sleeping styles.
But the best part is, all our mattresses are made right here in the Central Valley. We still use traditional techniques and the finest materials, but now every mattress we sell directly benefits the local community.
But that's not the only difference. At Clovis Mattress, we are open by appointment only. Why? Because we want every customer to get the royal treatment, so we can guide you through our amazing collection with no hard sell, no distractions, just the right information to help you find your perfect mattress.
So call Clovis Mattress today, 500-2222 or visit clovismattress.com. Again, that's clovismattress.com to book your appointment and secure free delivery from now until January 2023.
Buy local, support local at Clovis Mattress.
We always fix what you need fixed. Auto House of Clovis.
Hey y'all, this is Gabe Navarro with a pro tip from Auto House of Clovis. Your vehicle is one of your biggest investments and one of the few items you need to be able to depend on. Your vehicle has been there for you through thick and thin, and we intend to keep it that way. We know times are a little uncertain these days, but our commitment to quality, reliable service is always guaranteed. At Auto House of Clovis, we aim to make the not-so-enjoyable process of automotive repair as easy as possible, so your only worry is what to make for dinner. Give our team a call at 559-292-2028. And if you're looking to join Daryl and his team, we're taking applications for technician positions of all skills and interests.
We always fix what you need fixed. Auto House of Clovis.
Inflation goes up. Do you feel like you need to refinance your car to fill up the gas tank? What if 2 years ago someone offered to sell you a lifetime supply of gas at $2.75 a gallon, but you told them no? Today, you would be kicking yourself. Right now, Planet Solar has that same offer for you on your electric bill. As inflation goes up, so does your utility bill. Lock in your energy prices today with a new Planet Solar system. Planet Solar is locally owned and operated in Clovis. They're big enough to offer you all the best brands and in-house financing, but small enough to give you the personal service you deserve. Call Planet Solar to find out how to lock in your electricity costs today. You'll be glad you did. Call them at 559-228-9245 or find them on the web at planetsolar.com. That's 228-9245 or planetsolar.com. License number 938313. The most streamed station in the Valley. PCs, phones, smart speakers, and KMJNow.com.
Everything that happens in Fresno's got to run the gauntlet at KMJ. It is such a blessing for you all to have what you have. It's been 100 years of communicating with your community. There's nothing like that for 1,000 miles.
And so ends our broadcast day.
Getting ready to wrap it up here on the afternoon drive on KMJ until Philip and a handful of professionals come back at 8 o'clock to talk about some of the returns when the polls close. If you haven't gone to vote, you need to do that now. If you need to drop off your ballots, you need to do that before 8 o'clock. And you really pushing it if you're trying to drop it in the mail because it has to be postmarked today.
Ray Appleton, John Brodsky, and I will be back live at 8 o'clock. You can listen 580 AM 1059 FM or anywhere you get us online, including your smart home speakers. If you haven't enabled the skill for Alexa yet, tonight's a good night to do it.
Yeah, so let's some predictions. We didn't do a whole lot of local stuff today because we were following along with what's going on in on the national races. Okay, so Measure M was the veteran support piece.
Yeah, what are you predicting on that?
Needs 2/3 to pass. I don't think it's going to pass. Measure C, Fresno County Transportation Improvement Tax Extension, 2/3 to pass. I don't think it's going to pass. Measure E for Fresno State. I'm feeling like since it just needs a majority, there might be enough push there for people coming out to vote who get 50% plus one.
The campaign for Yes on E has been substantial. That surprise editorial from the Collegian, I think, hurt it a little bit.
Yeah.
My opinion is that we're going to see no's on E, C, and M. Other races, what do you see coming down the line?
Other races, I think Governor Newsom's going to be reelected.
Well, daring prediction. Look at you going out on a limb.
I think that in Congress, 5th Congress, you're going to see Tom McClintock. I do think that the endorsements are going to help Adam Gray win up in the 13th. The 20th, Kevin McCarthy's going to win. Oh, yeah. Costa will win in the 21st. And I think Valadeo's going to be able to hold on to the 22nd.
Okay, fair enough. As far as national races, you got any? What do you see happening with Oz Fetterman?
I think Fetterman's going to win.
Okay.
I don't think that they're going to admit that they won because I think we're going to see shenanigans tomorrow.
You think that's one of those races we're going to continue
Absolutely.
to hear about through the next week? Warnock versus Walker.
Man, it is a lot closer than right now. Like they're calling it 49% for Warnock, 48% for Walker.
Yeah. It's going to be another one we fight about.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's good. But I mean, I just can't with Walker.
So Fox News already projecting victory for Marco Rubio. We're seeing about 85% of returns coming in Florida. And if that number holds, unless there's some kind of fascinating anomaly, Rubio's got it. And DeSantis, head and shoulders, almost a 20% lead with 85% reporting.
Yeah,
That was
that's
an
not a
easy call.
surprise at all.
All right, more insight and analysis on the way at 8 o'clock with John Brodsky, Ray Appleton, myself, Mike DeManuel Jr. will be here as well. That's going to do it for the afternoon drive. Mark Levin has the floor starting at 6 o'clock after an update of headlines from the ABC Newsroom. Before that, of course, we'll hear from our friends at the Valley's Legends and Legacies. Skip and I will be back tomorrow at 2 to break down. Oh, hopefully not a breakdown. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
See you. By the way, 8 o'clock, we're back here, live o'clock. Me, Appleton, and Brodsky. Be here, please.
Missed part of the show? Get the Afternoon Drive podcast at kmjnow.com or by searching KMJ's Afternoon Drive in TuneIn Radio.